In just 3 weeks' time, we'll know who England will face in the World Cup. Thousands of fans from across the region will head to South Africa, hoping for an experience they'll never forget. Well, one football fanatic thinks he can deliver just that without a single goal being scored. All he needs is an army of willing volunteers.
There's 25,000 of us here today. I'll put it another way, the same amount of people that die every 4 days in Africa from AIDS. But what if some of us football fans decided that's just not on? And instead we harnessed our passion for this beautiful game with the belief that things can change.
So I created Lionsraw, a new movement of soccer fans who want to make a difference. On Sundays, I lead the Vine Church on Teesside. But on Saturdays, for my sins, I'm Borough through and through. I totally love football. Now my mission is to mobilise an army of football fans to help in building projects and soccer academies for deprived children in South Africa. My first big signing to help me is a former England manager.
As everybody knows, you're like a dog with a bone and you never let go. So you persisted and kept me up to date and asked for my support, and I got enthused by you because of your passion and enthusiasm, and I got enthused by the idea.
So let's kick off.
I've travelled 6,000 miles from the northeast to South Africa. This stadium behind me in Durban is one of 10 venues that'll be hosting next year's World Cup. This is where my vision will become a reality.
An hour's drive out of the city is an area that's home to 2 million people. Its beauty hides a terrible reality.
South Africa is the epicentre of the global epidemic that is AIDS HIV. Within South Africa, the Valley of 1,000 Hills, where we are right now, is the most densely populated AIDS-affected area in the world. What that really means is people in the houses behind me here have got AIDS and it is killing them.
This is where I'm going to bring my army of 300 England football fans for next year's World Cup. Today I'm on a scouting mission to find out what needs to be done and to ask some local people how we can help. First stop, a school called Inchanga. It's 45 children per class and facilities are basic, but it's doing a great job.
I guess a lot of your kids have to walk here. How far are they coming from?
We have got some who comes from 6 kilometers away.
And so they'll walk across the hills, what, an hour and a half will it take them?
It will take them up to 2 hours each trip.
Well, we're going to have a few hundred guys here that we're bringing up from Durban every day.
Yes.
And some of them are going to be involved in building projects around the valley, but lots of them are going to be doing soccer schools.
We will really appreciate that, John. You are most welcome.
In this school, football is allowing them to do education in a different way. Kids come to school when they play football, then they learn the other things they need to learn.
Like life skills lessons, including how to prevent HIV and stay healthy. That's why the very first thing Lionsraw did was to send a football coach here to work at Inchanga and other schools in the area. And he's from Middlesbrough to boot.
I used to work as a mill operator. I've done that for 10 years, and so my life's totally changed around now. Football brings people together as a community. Especially in the schools, it's bringing the kids into school. You're getting better attendance records when they've got football going on.
Yeah, amazing.
This orphanage is run by an amazing local guy, and my army of England fans will be here next year to help this place expand. God knows it's needed.
I'm guessing some of the kids you've got here have been orphaned by HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, all the kids that we have here are infected or affected through HIV and AIDS. It's a mass pandemic. The area that we're in is very infected. In the community, there's an 80% unemployment rate, and there's about a 75% HIV and AIDS rate.
Wow.
Which is the highest in South Africa, which is the highest in the world.
And if you needed a starker reminder of the devastating impact of AIDS here, within a few hundred metres of the orphanage is this, a mass grave. Under these unmarked piles of earth are thousands of bodies buried in the last 18 months. The stigma of the disease in this community robbing its victims of even the dignity of a basic funeral.
In truth, it's really horrible to stand here. It's distressing to think that 4,500 people have been buried in mass graves here just on this hillside. It hits your emotions pretty bad to think of the lives this has ruined, kids that have been left behind by parents that are buried here. It's good to know that some of them are getting looked after in our friend's orphanage right next to us here.
Another orphanage a few miles away. And all the youngsters here have been orphaned by AIDS. In their tiny two-bedroomed house, this couple care for 12 children. Another 24 come during the day.
What are your needs at the moment? What do you need here?
We need 4 bedrooms, and then a bigger lounge, a lounge where the children can play in even, and then if we can extend our kitchen. And the most important thing is the toilet and the bathroom.
Yes. When we come back this year, we really want to help you build it.
That will be nice.
It would be brilliant to have England fans helping make this dream happen.
That will be nice.
I'm a man of my word, and that's a promise I'll be keeping. All I'm asking of the team is that they give 8 out of 12 days on the trip to work at places like this. But back in the city, it's clear there's also a huge job to be done. Hundreds of kids live rough on the streets of Durban. They're so vulnerable.
Wendy, tell me how you ended up on the streets. What happened to lead you here?
Okay, I was staying with my mother. She was a really bad alcoholic.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and she died. She used to hit me for nothing.
Yeah.
I just hated my mother. She hated me back.
You know, most of us, we can't imagine what it's like to live on the streets. What is life like here on the streets of Durban?
Life is so bad. You see some girls, when they want money to buy food or clothes, they go sell their bodies.
Yeah.
You see things like that. People must respect us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Treat us like everybody, because we're still children. We just need love and care.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what some of these kids are getting at this drop-in centre. It's run by a dedicated Englishman.
A large number of kids are infected with HIV, but they don't tend to arrive in the streets with HIV. They become infected in the streets. It's not just about getting the kids off the streets. The most important thing is ensuring that they find a way out of street life.
We've got to help these kids. If nothing else, let's at least put a smile on their faces during this World Cup. I'm leaving with a sense of the scale of the challenge that lies ahead. If we succeed, it'll be the beginning of something huge. A group of American soccer fans is planning something similar when the World Cup is held in Brazil in 2014.
I'm determined that next year 300 of us are going to make a massive difference in South Africa. It's time for the men of the North East to lay aside which team they support. Let's stand together as England United. Let's show the world what we can do.